Hello and welcome to the weekend of racing here on the Heart of Racing, your YouTube channel dedicated to the sport of horse racing. Now, not much luck with my selections on Thursday and Friday. However, I am feeling a lot better and I should be 100% by the start of next week. We're going to start off with the news and then we're going to get into my selections. Selections are only coming from Saturday and they will be from Newbury, Doncaster and Meydan. Meydan with some fantastic racing with Postponed running out there, and we will get into that in a second. But let's get on to some news stories. We're going to start off with the news of George Baker. And we should have discussed this really on Thursday. But George Baker, he took a horrible fall last Sunday out on the snow in St Moritz in Switzerland. It's known as the White Turf. I'm going to go out there next year to watch the racing. We were so sad to hear that George Baker had taken a tumble there. And he has bleeding in the brain. It was revealed Friday evening on the Racing Post app that he has bleeding in the brain. If you don't have the Racing Post app, definitely download it for iOS and Android. It does give you the latest news. But we do wish George Baker all the best with his recovery. It's going to be a long road to recovery, but we can't wait to see George Baker riding again. He obviously won the St Leger, which won the Classics. He won that last year, so we wish George all the best and we look forward to seeing him soon. Okay, my final bit of news is a bit of, well, sad news you could say, but it's to do with Lucy Verasamy, ITV's weather expert, ITV Racing weather expert, and she said that it could be rain coming for Cheltenham in the next couple of weeks, which isn't a bad thing for the festival. It could get the ground looking quite nice. However, she's predicted frost and fog for the festival itself, and that's not great really. We're used to seeing some, well, quite nice weather during the festival, and hopefully I will be up there on the first day to see Petit Mouchoir run in the Champion Hurdle. I know the breeders of this horse, I've said this in a previous video, and I'd love to be able to go and see their horse run up there at Cheltenham, so I should be there, and if I do get the chance to go there I should do a video from Cheltenham on the 14th of March, so do look out for that one. Bit of a shame though that we could get some frost and fog, not the best weather for the festival, but let's pray that we get some sun and we have some excellent weather during it. Let's move on to my selections now, and the first selection comes in the 1:30 at Newbury, and the horse that I'd like to concentrate on is Justification for Gary Moore and ridden by Joshua Moore. Now this team, Gary Moore and Joshua Moore, they won last Sunday, the National Spirit Hurdle on Camping Ground. And Camping Ground, it was such a fantastic win, clearly won that race and should do quite well at the Cheltenham Festival in whatever race it goes in. But this horse Justification, I've watched it the last two times at Sandown I've been there, and just looks a horse that over the last month or so has seemed to be improving quite a fair bit. It's now up in class and now running at Newbury, where last time it ran at Newbury it didn't run too well. But I do think he has a decent chance here, and he's currently at 7-2. The worry may be Hello George and Richard Johnson and Philip Hobbs. Richard Johnson I do think is going to have a fantastic day at Newbury tomorrow, and there's one horse that is very interesting right towards the end of the day at Newbury that I will mention in a second. But Hello George could be the threat, currently at 5-1, but Justification, I do think if finding the best of his form and running like he did at Sandown last time, that he could win this race. Right, moving on to the 3:15 now, and it's the Greatwood Gold Cup, which is one of the bigger races shown on ITV, and it's actually going to be on the ITV main channel tomorrow, so definitely worth watching. Stick it on channel 3. For most people is known as channel 3, but ITV are showing the racing on the main channel for the second time only, so that's quite exciting. But the 3:15 has got Old Grangewood in there for the Skelton brothers, Vic de Touzane for Venetia Williams, ridden by Tom Scudamore, Vibrato Valtat, Hollywood Yen, Thomas Crapper, but the one I want to concentrate on is Dresden for Henry Oliver and ridden by Richard Johnson. Second on its last two outings, but definitely not without any credit here. Should go very well at a fair price, 11-1. The other one that I'm probably, quite taking the fancy to is Tornado in Milan for Evan Williams and ridden by Adam Wedge. So I do think a horse at a big price could win this race, but this is one of those races where if you do like a horse at a decent price, you will find one here, with the favourite being 3-1. For the Skelton brothers, so definitely one where you could find a decent price winner. But I would like to go with Dresden or Tornado in Milan, but Dresden will be my first pick for Richard Johnson, who I do think is going to have a smashing day at Newbury tomorrow. Now the final race that I want to talk about at Newbury is the 3:50, and the favourite in this race is Bold Air. Now, I don't often tip up short price favourites. I'm not going to back this horse, but if you are a favourites backer, I do think this is one of the better horses of the day. Trained by Chris Gordon. I did see a tweet from Chris Gordon saying he thought Richard Johnson was pretty good in previous weeks and definitely worth booking him up. And, you know, with a champion jockey like Richard Johnson, it's in with a massive shout. Last time this horse won, it was ridden by Tom Cannon. But Richard Johnson, a significant jockey booking for this race, 6-4 at the moment. The horse is below it in the betting. I just don't see in with any shout. Maybe the other local trainer to myself, Gary Moore with Nightly Pleasure, ridden by Joshua Moore there at 11-2, might be up for a placing. But Bold Air 6-4. Not often I tip a short price favourite, but if I was a favourite backer, this would be one that I would be going for. Distance winner, Chris Gordon, who's one of my favourite trainers, and Richard Johnson, who is without a doubt probably the best jockey on the jumps at the moment. So Bold Air in the 350 at Newbury. To Doncaster now, and the race that I want to, well, the only race I want to talk about is the 335, which is the Grinthorpe Handicap Chase, which is probably the biggest race of the day on ITV. And the favourite in this is definitely Red, and the second favourite, Last Samurai, is 7-2. The Last Samurai, who performed extremely well in the Grand National last year, and is definitely a sure stayer in this race. And a lot of people's fancies really the Last Samurai at 7-2. However, the one that I do like the look of is Seago Success for Alan King, and ridden by Tom Cannon, who I was just discussing about earlier. Tom Cannon, pretty much second jockey to Alan King, Wayne Hutchinson at Newbury. But I do think this horse here is in with a massive shout, and looking at the way that Alan King's talking about this horse, it looks like it should be a decent price. At 15-2, it looks like it should go very well. So that's my pick for that race. The other one that does catch the eye is Yala Anki, who I think Venetia Williams may have a decent day tomorrow. She'll either have a really good day, or it might just be a bit of a flop. But Charlie Deutsch on board, her main jockey really, Charlie Deutsch and Liam Treadwell. But Yala Anki for Venetia Williams is 7-2, and if going for one of the favourites, that would be my pick. I do wish the best for the Last Samurai, because I do love this horse, and I did back it last year in the Grand National. But my pick would be Seago Success for Alan King and Tom Cannon. But if I was a favourite man, I would be going for the Venetia Williams horse, Yala Anki. Maidan now, and what a card this is. I absolutely love the flat racing. I can't wait for the flat racing to begin on April the 1st with the Lincoln at Doncaster. But what a fantastic card Maidan are holding here, with some decent horses, and the one that catches the eye will be Postponed, which we'll move on to in a second. But I'm going to go for each race here and tell you who I think is going to win each race. So we'll start off with the 12 o'clock, where I think Capizano is going to win for Charlie Appleby and William Buick. Charlie Appleby flying out there at the moment. The 12.35, I'm going to go with Comicasp once again. Charlie Appleby and William Buick, 8-1, a decent price there. Then in the next race, the 110, there's only one horse I'm going to go for, and that's Postponed. 2-1 on favourite. Obviously, I'm not going to be backing this horse, but I can't see anything else beating it. Roger Varian and Andrea Azzini, fifth in the Arc last year, and some absolutely fantastic runs all over the show really. His form just tells you that he's one of the best horses out there, and I do think this could be one of Postpone's better seasons. So 2-1 on in that race, but that's who I think is going to win the 110. In the race after that, the 145, I'm going to side with Polar River and give Polar River the shot. Hasn't run well recently, but has won some huge races out of Maidan. Currently 7-1, and I'm just going to give a chance for him to come back and retain his form. Now the 220, I'm going to go with Baccarat for Charlie Appleby again, but this time ridden by Colm O'Donoghue. William Buick's decided to side with Jungle Cat, but Baccarat's going to be my pick in that race there, the 220. Okay, now the 255, and the horse I'm going to go with here is Special Fighter for Maria Ricci, and ridden by Fernando Gerard, who, in all honesty, I haven't heard much about Fernando Gerard, but the horse itself is a course and distance winner, and looks like it should go very well out there in the 255. Now the final race I'm going to move on to is the 330. Decorated Knights in this race, who was meant to be in the Winter Derby. He's currently 11-4 for that race. The horse I'm going to go with is Earnshaw, ridden by Mikel Barcelona in the Shakes Silks, or won the Shakes Silks. Mikel Barcelona, although some people don't like him, he likes to come right from the back and fly home with most of his horses, and I do think he's one of the classier jockeys out there in the world. But Earnshaw in the 3:30 at Meydan. Right, thank you very much for watching. It's been a pleasure to have you here as always. If you're new to the channel, do hit that subscribe button, the red button down below. If you aren't new to the channel, do leave a like if you're enjoying these videos, and do comment down below if there's anything I can change. As we've got a small amount of subscribers, I'm always open to adapt to change, so do leave a comment and let me know what I can do to make these videos better. A few of you have been doing this at the moment, and I'm trying to take as much as I can on board and trying to work these changes into my videos, so thanks very much for that. Do share on Twitter at Heart of Racing. Also, if you put your notifications on for Twitter, it will notify you every time we upload a video, as we do tweet every time we upload. So do follow us on Twitter at Heart of Racing. Snapchat's coming soon as well, and we will announce that in our Tuesday news vlog, so do look out for that one, because it will go live Wednesday where we are at Fontwell, and we'll see what we can do there. But that's it for today. Please do enjoy your weekend. I hope if you're having a bet, I wish you all the luck, and I hope you make a fair bit of money. But I will see you on Tuesday morning for our weekly news vlog, where we'll talk through the news of racing. If there are any selections for Wednesday or Tuesday, I will let you know. But thanks very much for watching. Pleasure to have you here as always, and I will see you again soon. Cheers.